Get back here. So this video will go along a little bit with the last one I'd made. Um, not to a T or anything, but decent amount, right? And again, excuse me, it looks stupid. If you haven't been watch some of the other videos that I've kind of made in this row, my hair's frizzing out and fuzzing. I gotta do something with it today. Don't hate. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, um, small towns can be nice because there's a certain sense of security in with them, and traffic's better. Most of the time, they're going to have everything you need. You don't have to travel a lot. If you can kind of do without. Zippo finally died. But with small towns, though, everybody knows everything about everybody. Um, so that's awful a lot of times, right? Sometimes it's easier to have an information network if you have to, like what we're doing, we're having to ask around, try to find people to help do stuff, to be able to figure shit out, help work on stuff because we're trying to get stuff set up so it can work to your benefit, depending on what you're doing. Um, but everybody knows everybody. It can definitely be a pain in the ass because everybody's nosy about shit, okay? And sometimes you can have a lot more of like a societal pressure on you for being in a small town because you feel like a lot of eyes are on you. Just to add real quick, kind of for last video's sake as well, you do not owe these people anything. I know it's all easier said than done because trust me, I'm still going through the loops of everything for this. If you don't owe anybody anything, these are just normie NPCs. It doesn't fucking matter. If you change or you do anything that's a little crazy or wild or they think that it is, again, it doesn't even fucking matter because their life isn't going to change based on what you do. It would take some really fucking groundbreaking thing, especially if they're already old. Can't teach an old dog new tricks most of the motherfucking time. So, I mean, most people aren't willing to change. They decide kind of who the fuck they are in like their early 20s, late teens or something. Then they have to stick to that character forever. You know, it's like a video game. They get to create a character, but they only ever have one profile. They make it, they play it, then they play it over and over and over and over. They never do like a different run through. Like, you know, one there's doing mage the entire fucking time. They're never doing like fucking goddamn paladin or something another time or whatever. Or they're never doing fucking just warrior or fighter or whatever, right? One character all the time, always, right? That's how these people work. Well, with that, there's a lot of preconceived notions that people have to follow and stuff as well. Kind of with small towns and their bullshit and stuff. And there's a lot of things that people think that you should do, and if you don't do, then it's kind of fucked up. And another thing too is that they have certain actions that they believe to be noble actions, but I could never wrap my head around it, even as a kid and stuff, right? And that's kind of the topic of this video here is one of these specific actions that I feel is so fucking detrimental. Excuse me. Um, the idea that it is manly to be away from your family. And what I'm talking about is in a place like this, my dad, for example, worked construction whenever I was a kid, and most of my childhood, he worked daylight to dark, even on Saturdays. On Sunday, obviously he's tired as fuck, so he's sleeping. As soon as he get home, sleeping. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Which I get it, you know. I mean, tired as fuck. I mean, I'm the world's biggest napper, okay? But there's a certain nobility, or excuse me, maybe a better term would be it's considered a noble act to work these jobs that are a little bit harder, where you have to stay away because they pay better. So therefore, you're able to support your family and be financially better. My wife's dad was a lineman at one point, right? And he's away for all these storms. He talked about how he had to miss all these holidays and birthdays and stuff like that. And he's making like hell of money back in the day and shit like that, you know. But uh, mother-in-law was at home taking care of the kids and shit all the time. But the kids grew up without him around a whole lot, even more so than me, you know, based on that job. Because at least I get to see my dad a little bit every day. Sometimes I wouldn't see this motherfucker for days, weeks, months, whatever. Dogs barking. But yeah, so with that, kids, trust me, I know this because whenever I was a kid, I would think this here, and I would say this is true for most. They would rather have a dad that fucking works some Joe Blow job, whatever, at McDonald's or something. No hate on fast food. I mean, delivering pizzas was the best money I ever fucking made easily. And they'd rather them work at a job like that and be there for them, with them all the fucking time, than have a little bit more money to just blow on material bullshit that you don't even fucking need. Because whenever you're a kid, if you're in a trailer or a house or whatever, fuck, it doesn't matter, right? If your dad's driving a fucking junkie truck or he's driving a fucking, you know, new truck and stuff like that, it doesn't fucking matter to a kid, right? Like my favorite thing my dad had was like a fucking old little Nissan pickup and stuff there for a while, and I loved whenever he drove it and stuff, you know, when I was with him. So, um, but point is like none of that fucking matters to a kid. They need their parents there. They need their family there, and I think that's important. And I don't think it's manly at all to be away from your family. I think you're running and hiding a lot of times for certain things, or you have it ingrained in your head that this is what to do. You know, now there's certain situations, and I'm thankful for these people because again, it's the NPC fucking hamster wheel shit. I'm so thankful for like, so I actually have my Class A CDLs and stuff like that from my old construction job and stuff. I was home most of the time, but it was about 6 months after my daughter was born that I got the fuck out of there and stuff. Because every now and again, having to work real late and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But I was home most of the time, and but still, yet though, thankful for truckers and all these other things that they do, whatever. And like my brother, for example, is a mail carrier for USPS, and there for a while he's having to work daylight to dark and stuff like that, and be gone a lot of the day. But he isn't married, doesn't have any kids, so he didn't have anything at home waiting on him really. You know what I'm saying? And people like that sometimes are the best fit for the jobs. Um, Now I know that there's some people and stuff like truckers or whatever they have like their it's like them and their wife and stuff. They're trucking together, you know. That can work, you know. But I think like in my brother's situation, he's half brother technically. Um, you know, it works and stuff like that because again, he doesn't have anything. But I've got, you know, two people here at home, a wife and daughter. I just can't stand to be without, and I have to be around them. Like I mentioned before in one of the older videos, is whenever my daughter was born, I was lucky enough, I had enough time saved up that I was able to take off almost a month after she was born and be there with her. And it was during that time that I realized I don't want to go back to fucking work. I want to be here with my family. I want to be here for her. I want to fucking, you know what I'm saying? And that's whenever I started coming up with these ideals and these plans and figuring out what I need to do and what'll work to be able to get to where I need to be so I don't have to fucking, you know, be a part of that system anymore. Right. And then since then, um, coming up on close to fucking 3 years, I've been implementing that plan within the next month or two, it'll probably be about 3 years on the fucking dot, I'll have this plan implemented and be able to be good from there, where I'll be able to just be with them, be my own boss, don't have to worry about other people and what's going on. And if anybody watches this or listens to it and you're in a position where you do have a family and you're away from your family, which I know sometimes you got to grind this shit out, you got to pay down some bills, you got to take care of some shit. But trust me, sometimes just downsizing in life, if you can, to be able to have that time to spend with your family and to be there for them is super fucking important. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Hear another car coming through. But anyways, though, if anybody watches this, hope you have a good one.